Okay, I'm back in the portal again. You understand me? Yeah. Um. First off, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shab, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Yahweh is the true name of the living God of Israel. Israel in the Paleo Hebrew is Yasharela, which means princess of power. Yahweh, the true God of Israel, his name means he who exists. Yahweh Shai is the correct name and the correct way that you say the Savior name, reason who you all ignorantly call Jesus. And the reason is because the letter J was created in 1524. This book right here, the Bible, is way older than 1524, so we know his name couldn't have been Jesus. And it's not Yahshua, it's not Yahushua, it's Yahweh Shai. And Rakakwadash is the proper way that you say Holy Spirit in the Paleo Hebrew. Second and foremost, I want to pay homage to all the great men who came before me, all of the great kings, the great prophets, great seers, which is also prophets, and all of the great priests, right, who came speaking of the new covenant and also giving you guys this great game, such as I am doing for you all today. You understand me? Yeah. Today, I want to get off into soul ties, and you know, I think it's very important for us to get a valid understanding on what soul ties are, and as men, how semen retention plays a part with this, you know. But I have a video I want to play. If this is a two-part video, I'm going to go ahead and say it on my first part. A lot of you guys don't click on my two parts on my second part of my video. That's cool. But I will say I do have a lot of meat that be on those second part of the videos. It's just the way that my tablet is formatted. It only goes a certain amount of time, and then part two automatically kicks on. If I was doing it off of my phone or something like that, it probably just went straight through. But I mean, that's what it does just for storage purposes. But I do have, sometimes I play videos on them second parts too. But yeah, man, we gonna get off into, you know, soul ties today. And a soul tie is basically a quantum, an energetic quantum entanglement. That's what a soul tie is, an energetic quantum entanglement. Okay, and you enter a soul tie through sex, right? Now, in our modern day society, we have been trained that sex and marriage are two different things. But according to the Bible, right? Not your preacher, not your deacon, you know, not your daddy, not nobody, but the book, right? Sex is marriage, right? Or you can say marriage is sex. Same thing. But sex is marriage, right? You do not have marriage unless two come together as one, which means they fucking, okay? They're having sexual intercourse. If you have small children, just for discretion purposes, this might not be the video for them. And if you are a female on my channel right now, you are very welcome to listen. My channel really is for men, but you are welcome to listen. If I say something that might trigger you, just put your feelings to the side and just take the game, right? Same for the bitch ass niggas that come on my channel too, right? Just put your feelings to the side and take the game, okay? But for this video, I want to first play, right? This is coming from a doctor, right? His name is Dr. Daniel Amen, and he's on the podcast with his wife, Tana Amen. And this video is from 7 years ago. I might put it inside of the description box so you guys can see the interview. But he's giving information about how women hold on to all of their previous partners' sperm as time goes on, right? And this is all dealing with soul ties. But I'm gonna go ahead and play the video and go ahead and let's get started with it.
In Sunday school, in like all over the place for young girls. Why don't you introduce it?
Well, it would have changed your whole life.
Absolutely. Would have changed many girls' lives, yes.
So, a friend of mine sent me a link to an article that's titled Women Absorb and Retain DNA from every man they have sex with.
Scary, right? So
And
you're
I'm like,
convinced.
uh-oh.
Right, you're convinced. Well, you're not a woman, but I think most of us are going, uh-oh, right? Because you're convinced it's why I keep tearing up the house, right? Now I'm pretty sure that I have never dated a Navy SEAL. I certainly haven't been married to one, so it doesn't explain like why I love fighting and all this stuff. Well, at least I don't think so.
It
But
does.
but yeah, it's really an interesting concept. My ex-husband was a contractor, so he's convinced this is why I keep tearing up our house.
Right.
Right.
Let me
explain
pause.
what this article.
Let me pause it. So this brother right now, Dr. Daniel Amen, if you go look at the video, it's basically all you got to type in is "women retain the DNA of every man they have sex with" by Tana Amen. And she's a registered nurse. He's a doctor, right? But the way he looking at her is like, bitch, maybe I fucked up. Maybe I fucked up. You know what I'm saying? And he the one that brought it to her attention, like, hey, you holding on to these men DNA, and I don't know, because look, man, women would not, they not gonna keep it real with you about how many sexual partners they done had in their life. Some women done had so many sexual partners in their life, they done lost count. You get what I'm saying? So you know you will never get that accurate number. That's why semen retention is very important. We're gonna get it. Let's continue.
Well, shows.
Well, this is actually a replication of another study, which is why it really blows my mind. I mean, the first time I read this, that whoever you have sex with, for women, you actually begin to incorporate the DNA of the man into your body. So it's very important to be thoughtful. I mean, you should be anyways, of who you have sex with. You should be thoughtful.
For many
and now
reasons.
this is saying, wow, if I have sex with someone who's abusive, with someone who's erratic, with that it may actually have an impact
Right.
on the females, because, and it's different than males because females get
Right.
a guy's sperm, and where women retain their own eggs.
Right.
So women are not giving their DNA, if you will, to men, but men are giving their genetic material to women.
So it's really interesting when you think of this idea: the two shall become one, or the five shall become one, right? So it's really kind of a scary
Or
concept,
Mia,
right?
if
In
you
Mamma Mia, the
watch
movie, right?
The movie, Mamma Mia. She said, no, I don't think it was 100.
Right, so let's hope it's not 100. But in sex education, when they teach this idea that you're sleeping, when you sleep with someone, you're sleeping with everyone they've slept with, what they're referring to is STDs, right? But it really has a far more reaching impact than that. So I just think this is so interesting. And I think if young girls really understood this, you know, because modern society has thrown these values out the window.
Right.
Because they think of them as old-fashioned values.
Right.
And it's like, I get to think like a guy. I get to do whatever men do.
Feminism.
Right? And it's become sort of just old-fashioned thinking as opposed to scientifically and even morally, and even like why you should protect your body against, you know, I mean, it's a scientific reason that supports all of the things we've been taught growing up for many years. And I think if we really approached it from not just the morals, right, not just the values, but we added the science to it, I think women would think about this completely differently.
Right.
Well, I sent it to a number of my friends who were females, and
What
they're
they
like,
did.
whoa, I have to share this with my sister.
Right.
And
It got shared a lot.
it got shared a lot. But if you think about it, whoever you allow in your body, you are getting their energy.
Right.
And so energy psychology has been around for
Right, even Native American Indians.
for centuries.
Right.
Longer, probably. And it just, who you hang out with really does matter.
Right.
Who you become intimate with really does matter. and they actually found there's a term for it, chimerism, which are particles of DNA that they found in the women's brains. So it just wasn't in their body, it was in the inner sanctum, if you will, into the part of you that makes you who you really are, which is
So I
your
wonder.
brain.
So I wonder if some women are more susceptible to like taking in more of this DNA, or if it has to do.
I'm going to pause the video right there. I think they hit on most of the points that I really wanted to get to. But yeah, y'all heard it from a doctor and a nurse. You know what I'm saying? In case y'all watching my previous videos and like, hey, you know, since I disagree with it. Well, that's a doctor and a nurse explaining it to you and letting you know that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? But they broke the Dr. Daniel, man, he said something on there, cause and she did too. They made it seem like the male isn't that affected by this, right? Because he's the giver of the seed, not the receiver, right? But that's just the physical aspect. That's what soul ties come into on the energetic aspect, right? Man, when you having sex with a woman, right? And condoms don't protect us from energy. You know what I'm saying? Let's get that out the way. First of all, condoms don't protect us from energy at all. When you having sex with a woman, man, you're exchanging her DNA. Okay? So, and it ain't even, like, you don't even have to go inside of her vagina. Like, she could give you some head. You could kiss on her. When you swap that DNA with her, you're entangled inside of all the men that she done ever slept with. I need y'all to understand that, man. I need y'all to get it. I know my men out there are like, what the fuck? Yes. Yes. Right? They're absolutely correct about, you know, the woman holding on to the DNA, right? But as a man, when you swapping DNA with her, right? You becoming entangled in that spiritually. You understand me? You know, and man, I mean, hopefully that explains why a lot of you guys go through bad luck when y'all get off of semen retention. Even myself, right? This should explain why a lot of your exes reach back out to you when you jump on semen retention, because they still hold on a piece of you. So when you jumping on semen retention, it's like a radar goes off in her mind, like, hey, this nigga is purifying, he's breaking away. Okay? So she's reaching out to you to try to hold on to some of that energy. You get what I'm saying? But this is why God forbid, where he forbade women to have multiple sexual partners. A man can do that. You know what I'm saying? Because, and a lot of you guys look at it at King Solomon, you know, and you look at King David and other men who had more than one woman. These women were virgins. You get what I'm saying? All these women were virgins. So it wasn't like he was having, let's just use King Solomon. It's not like King Solomon was having sex with women that had multiple sexual partners. You get what I'm saying? King Solomon really was the only man that they really had ever known. You know what I'm saying? Us today, we can't say that. That's why the sexual liberation and feminism fucked us. Okay? It fucked us. It fucked both men and women. It fucked us. Right? Because feminism and sexual liberation didn't tell us about or warn us about the entanglements that we were going to be enduring. Right? That's why you have a lot of women crashing out right now. You get what I'm saying? because the process or the understanding of knowing that sex is marriage is gone. We're living in a society right now where we're looking at sex and marriage as two different things. You know what I'm saying? And it's fucking us bad. It's really fucking us bad, man. But I want to go off into I want to read this right quick. I want to read this right quick. And let me say this: semen retention and celibacy are two different things, right? And this is also for women. If you're watching me too, of course you can't. If you're a woman, of course you can't do semen retention because you don't have semen, but you can practice celibacy, right? Semen retention is just what it is. It's semen. You're retaining semen, right? Celibacy is you're abstaining from all sexual activity, right? Physical and mental. You're abstaining, okay? Semen retention is similar to celibacy, but you can have sex on semen retention. You can edge on semen retention. You can do it, but there's consequences behind it. That's why celibacy is the best route. I'm just being real. Celibacy is the best route. You feel me? Just in our modern day society, right? I want to get this. But women also can practice celibacy. And basically, when a woman practices celibacy, women have a misunderstanding because they think that celibacy erases their past history of all the men that they have sexually become entangled with. No, it doesn't. What it does, it creates a force field around you where those negative entities can't really affect you. But once you fuck again or you play with your pussy again and you release and you come, you are now back susceptible to the previous energies of those previous men that you have had sex with. I hope I'm explaining well. Soul ties and quantum entanglement, spiritual parallels, right? In quantum physics, entanglement refers to two particles becoming linked so that one affects the other even across distance. Spiritually, sex does the same thing. When a woman sleeps with a man, a part of her becomes linked to him and vice versa. If she continues to sleep with new men, her soul becomes layered with multiple spiritual energies. Every man she sleeps with becomes, in a sense, entangled with the others, creating confusion, spiritual interference, and emotional instability. This is why 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 16 is stated, "He that is joined to a harlot is one body, for two, saith he, shall become one flesh." The one flesh union is not just physical, it is emotional, spiritual, and even mental. Right? Semen retention, breaking soul ties for men. For men, semen retention is a spiritual reset. Every time a man releases, especially to porn, strangers, or lust, he reactivates soul ties and lowers his spiritual vibration. By holding his seed, he reclaims energy, clarity, purpose, and divine alignment. But once he releases again, especially to a woman he's not spiritually joined to, he becomes susceptible to those soul ties, temptations, and attacks again. Be not deceived, God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. That's Galatians chapter 6, verse 7. Right? So you also create soul ties from porn too. Right? If you want semen retention, you watching porn, you creating a soul tie, G. So it's not gonna be like you gonna get some bad shit behind it, some bad luck behind it, but it's not gonna be like if you was to ejaculate, right? It's gonna be like when you was a toddler and your mama and daddy told you don't do something, and you fuck with it anyway. They don't do that. That's how the universe gonna treat you, right? You watch porn or you edge, right? The next day, the universe gonna do something like you might wake up and your tie light will be on. Besides you getting on the freeway, like if you ejaculated, you probably would have got on the freeway and had a blowout. But since you didn't ejaculate and you just, the negative energy, and you just watch porn or you edge, right? The negative energy that you took on, the universe got to still, don't do that no more. So that's the twilight, right? I'm hoping I'm breaking it down to you as clear as I possibly can, okay? That's why celibacy is the best route. You do celibacy, you avoiding all that, right? But the same with women that practicing celibacy. Once she release again, once she has sex again and she come, now those energies of those men are open to her again. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I mean, it's fucked up. I didn't make the rules. You know what I'm saying? Deuteronomy chapter 24 breaks this down. God put this in place for a reason. That's why God was like, women only supposed to be with one man. She's not supposed to be spreading herself amongst various different men throughout her lifetime. Why? Because she'll fuck around and gain bipolarness or schizophrenia. Because she got so many different other men's spirits hanging around in her aura field that she'll never be able to get rid of. They're going to stay with her forever. Okay? That's why a lot of you men, you'll kiss your girl, you know, and be like, babe, I'm about to go to the store right quick. And she like, okay. And then you leave. When you come back, this bitch in a whole nother spirit. Right? Cause something, while you was gone, she probably was on social media, a song probably came on, or she watching something, an argument happened, it triggered one of those DNAs of those men. It triggered it. So now, she don't see you, she see that man. So let's say the dude beat her up, right? A song probably played that when she was fucking with that man, she probably was fucking him, and that song was playing while she was fucking him. It imposed on her subconscious mind. So now she's watching that video, that song played. Guess what happened? That man energy, his DNA that she holding on to, his presence came out. So now when you come back to the crib, she ready to fight. She ready to have an argument. She don't even see you, dog. She see that dude. She going off about, you don't even do that with me. You don't fuck me. You don't want to take me nowhere. You don't want to go. And you looking at this bitch like, bitch, we just went on a vacation last month. What the fuck is you talking about? You never do anything with me. You don't do it. It's because she don't see you. She see that man. Okay? This is real, dog. I done been through this shit. You know what I'm saying? I done been through this, bro. And women will make you feel like as a man that you're really doing something wrong. But that's because as men, we don't have this information. Women don't even have this information. They just go through the motion of it. You understand? They just go through the motion of it. They don't even understand what the fuck going on with them. And it was systematically designed for it to be that way, so the divorce rates can go high, so women can be on welfare, food stamps, and Section 8. It was designed that way, right? Let's get this, because sex is marriage, right? And if you want to get that, that's Genesis chapter 24, verse 27. It says, and Isaac brought her into his mother Sarah's tent and took Rebekah, and she became his wife, which means that when he put dick in her, at that moment, Rebekah became his wife. Okay? That's why all you dumb motherfuckers out there, you dumbass Christians, that's talking about Joseph isn't who y'all call Jesus. I call him by his real name, Yahweh Shai. That Joseph isn't his biological father. You don't know the Bible. Right? You don't know the Bible at all. You fucked off. Okay? You really fucked off. Joseph was the Messiah's biological father. Okay? There was no such thing as a fucking immaculate conception. That's bullshit. Okay? And if you're a Christian out there, I know I'm probably hurting your motherfucking feelings. Click the fuck off the video. Bye. Because your mind is not strong enough to take what I'm telling you right now. You brainwashed. Okay? If you still on, kudos to you. Just take the game. But yes, Joseph, what the Hebrew custom, any Christian, if you out there, and if you're a Hebrew Israelite, you want to stump a Christian, you just got to go through the Hebrew custom. And most Christians don't know the Hebrew Israelite customs. They don't know the ways. That's why they lean on the Immaculate Conception. The Hebrew custom was the man and the woman, right? They would get together, right, at the family house, okay? And the father of the male father already done paid the bride father, right, for this ceremony, for this woman to become this man's wife, right? Or if the father of the boy ain't there, the boy himself or the man, he done paid the father. Okay? Now what they do, they go in the next room and they fuck on top of a white sheet. If they fuck on that white sheet and no blood come there, the girl get put to death. Right? She instantly get put to death. Now, Joseph was already poking Mary. He was already fucking on her. He knew if I go through this process of the marriage ceremony and I take Mary in this room, I know ain't no blood gonna come out here. They gonna kill her. And I know she pregnant right now with my child. That's why the angel had to come and tell Joseph, look, she already your wife. You've been fucking on her already. But the Most High put the spirit on you to go ahead and start fucking on her because, Joseph, what you don't know is King Herod is getting ready to kill all the firstborns. So the Lord put it on your spirit, Joseph, to go ahead and start knocking her off so you could be in this spirit that you in right now so you can get your girl and y'all go ahead and get on down. Just as what Joseph and Mary did, right? The Lord beautiful the way he operate, dog. He beautiful, bro. Because Joseph didn't, at the time, Joseph was putting dick in Mary. He didn't know King Herod was sending out that decree. But God did. God did. And as a man, you got to put yourself in Joseph's mind frame. Joseph knew, man, if my mama gonna push the issue, wasn't no DNA test at the time. Right? Wasn't no DNA test at the time, dog. And Joseph wasn't gonna be able to tell his mama. Daddy probably would have went a little bit with it, but mama was gonna push the issue. Right? Mama pushed the issue today. Right? Anybody, if you a female, you watching me, you got a son, you got a grandson, a nephew, y'all know y'all pushed the issue. You need to go get a DNA test. Yeah, you need to get y'all push the issue. So Joseph knew that. Joseph like, man, they gonna kill my baby, man. They gonna kill my girl and my little baby. They gonna kill them. But the Lord already knew that. Lord had set it up that way so Joseph could get on down to dodge King Herod. Okay? So God put the spirit on Joseph to go ahead and start popping Mary before the official marriage ceremony, where Joseph would have had to take her in a room and put that dick in her and come out and raise the white sheet up and show everybody the blood. Okay? That's for you dumbass Christians out there that don't know shit. Just talk, running y'all mouth like, just vomit out at the motherfucking mouth, but don't know shit. Don't know history, don't know customs, don't know settings, don't know shit. Can't stand y'all sometimes. I love y'all, but I can't stand y'all sometimes. And this even goes for men that rape women, right? And that's why this is very important, fellas. Y'all out there, y'all got to get on semen retention, man. At times, bro, like Paul said in 1 Corinthians chapter 7, when he was talking to the man and the woman, he was like, look, y'all can fuck, but at times, he was telling the brother, like, look, at times, bro, you gonna have to break away from her. Because this same ideal of feminism and sexual liberation is nothing new. It's been going on. It's just happening in our time frame, right? But even in Paul's time, women was in that same type of spirit. Wasn't as vast as it is today, but they was in that same spirit, right? Because they was under the same white folks that we under today, right? So Paul was even telling the brother in 1 Corinthians chapter 7 that, hey, look, at moments, bro, you gonna have to break away from fucking her. You gonna have to pray and fast. Why? To cleanse your energy. Because she got soul ties to other men. I know you emotionally attached to her, but she got soul ties to other men. You'll end up fucking over your life because of those dudes that she done been with. The energy of those men, it'll be fucking over your life. You'll find yourself doing shit that you don't normally do. But it's not you. It's because you're quantumly entangled inside of her energy and the other men energy that she done slept with. Y'all thought Jada Pinkett was playing when she said her and August Alsina had an entanglement. The bitch was keeping it real. The world just was dumbfounded, but that bitch was keeping it real. And August Alsina, for the rest of his life, he's going to be inside of her entanglement. The energy of him, right? So let's say, use them for example. Will Smith go do a movie. August Alsina could be way across the world. But when Will Smith have an idea that he want to do a movie because he's also entangled in her energy, in her quantum field, August Alsina be like, man, for some reason I feel like, man, I want to be in a movie. That's because he's entangled inside of Jada Pinkett and Will Smith energy. Yeah, this some real shit, man. This shit real. You could, let's say Will Smith go depressed. August Alsina will go to having thoughts of depression if he ain't on semen retention at that moment of time. This real, dog. This is real, dog. Man. But I was talking about rape. What the customs for rape was, there was really no such thing as rape. It was, but the way God had it set up, if a man took a woman pussy without her permission, right? He had to take care of that woman for the rest of his life. Let's get there. Let's see. That's Exodus. Here you go, right here. Exodus chapter 22, verse 16. It say, if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed and lay with her, he should surely endow her to be his wife. Right? Because it really wasn't no such thing as dating. It wasn't no such thing as girlfriend or boyfriend. None of that shit, no old man or old lady, because sex is marriage. That's why fornication is adultery. Right? The way we've been misdefining fornication. We've been defining fornication as shacking up. That's what the old people say. Or sleeping around. That's what modern people say. But when you understand that